Hi, thanks for joining us at Vanilla Academy. I'm Dan Broccoli. I head up content here at Vanilla, and I'm very happy to have Laura Jagoni here, who is a sales executive at Vanilla. And not only is she a sales executive here, she speaks to financial advisors obviously all day long, but she was also a financial advisor herself at JP Morgan. So she's got that perspective that she brings to these conversations. Thanks so much for joining me, Laura.
Thank you for having me, Dan.
Well, we're here. I think this is going to be a short talk, but I think a powerful one because we're here to talk about milestones and the milestone feature of the Vanilla product, which I think it has the potential to really help drive ongoing conversations, both in terms of goal setting, but even in terms of just as you sit down and you kind of get the lay of the land with your client. This can be a really great tool to help walk you through those conversations. Can you talk to people and kind of tell them what milestones are?
Yeah, milestones, as it's represented in Vanilla's platform, at least, is an ability for advisors to kind of like free form, get in there and write things that you want to memorialize in the past that you've done with clients, and maybe goals and objectives for the future. So think of probably today what you're doing is creating pages, whether it's on PowerPoint or otherwise, or even just typing up in emails or keeping it in your notes in a share drive somewhere. Keeping track of what you've done with a client to date, maybe what you want to do in the future, reminders for setting up that charitable foundation, or re-looking at the life insurance policy and deciding if it needs to change or not. That's essentially what a client pays you for, right? Is what have you done with us? What are we going to continue to do in the future? So I think milestones is a way to basically showcase all of that on one page.
That's really interesting. I always think of milestones as future goals, but this is a great point you make, that actually you can go back in time and create these milestones, and that really shows the value that you've brought the client as well, and kind of gives the longer term picture if you're going backwards and forwards as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, let's jump in and take a look at what milestones are then.
Yeah.
Platform that is. Yeah.
All right, so our milestones tab lives here in the estate section of Vanilla's platform. As you can see here, we have some milestones that happened in the past. So in 2020, there was an estate planning milestone that I helped my clients with. And then in 2023, there are a few things that I need to hit on this year with my client. One has to do with a charitable gifting vehicle, a donor advised fund. The other has to do with taxes. That's, always a big topic that needs to get talked about. So should you want to add or edit any milestones within Vanilla's platform, you just do so right here in the estate manager, and you can go to milestones to edit, delete, or even add additional milestones. So maybe this is something that I want to memorialize that has happened in the past, that, it's just always good to re-jog my client's memory that I may have helped them with a huge lift 5 years ago. And it's something I want to kind of keep in the top of their mind as we move forward in the relationship. Or maybe it's something that in 2025, I want to remind my clients about retirement planning. Maybe it's insurance. I have the ability to choose which category that I think this milestone best falls into. And this is when I said free form before, this is why I said that, because you have the ability here to really write in whatever it is that milestone is, and then any descriptions or notes that might be applicable here. So maybe I just want to remind my client about updating life insurance. But then down in the description or notes is where I could get a little bit more detailed about my actual thoughts towards, here's what I think fits best for your family, or maybe a reminder to visit a certain topic.
This is great. So, this way, when you're sitting down with a client, you're not just starting with a blank page, that you're actually, it's like, okay, so here's our plan, here's our overarching plan. Here's, you put a 529, or you want to fund your kid's college education by this year. How are we doing, according to that goal, and things of that nature. So this is, I think, a really helpful, simple tool.
Yeah. The last thing I wanted to say here is that I love that milestones is here because it just helps the entire platform and really relationship that an advisor has with Vanilla. It helps it be very cohesive, meaning, not only are you understanding your client's estate plan and their balance sheet and their family structure, but also it gives you that place of of being able to put in these recommendations or opportunities for the future. We're all, as advisors, you're all probably doing this today in some capacity. Again, I know plenty of advisors who keep this as a PowerPoint slide in their deck, or as a printout for each meeting that they just create on Microsoft Word. But having everything live in a really cohesive place that you can update in real time, and it all lives together here, makes it that much easier and honestly better looking from a client relationship perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a great looking presentation. Well, thank you so much, Laura, for showing us milestones today.
You're welcome. Thanks, Dan.